Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody. Happy Sunday morning to you wherever you are in this amazing world. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent, and for about the next hour or so, we're going to talk all things cruising or travel. Hey, you want to ask questions about other things? I'll be happy to answer those as well. But if you're new to the channel, we invite you to like, subscribe, share, do all those wonderful things that everybody loves for you to do in the social media world. I'm Walter, your independent travel agent, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rebecca, who's sitting off camera. We are Where's Walter Travel. We book all things cruises, land, luxury, expedition. So anything we can help you with in the future, please do reach out. We would love to help you. There are links in my description. There are links in on my TikTok bio. So just reach out. Our services are truly 100% free. And now it's me, it's Mindy, and Corey. There's three of us for triple the fun. And then we can all help you out, find your best vacations. Hey, Annette. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Eric. Thanks for joining in. Good to see everybody. We are trying out some new software today. Yes, we are. So thanks to my good friend Tony at La Lita Loca, we are trying out some new streaming software on the YouTube side called Ecamm. So hopefully everything looks great. And I just learned that the video will not come to the camera automatically. So that's what I just learned. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Benny. Hey, Annette, Mimi, Eric. Good to see you, and everybody on TikTok. How's everybody doing? Hey, Joe. Good to see you. How's the weather up in Chicago? It's actually quite lovely now. Joe, we got all the way down to 50 degrees, man, the other night. It was freezing. So I don't know how it is in Chicago.
Walter was bundled up.
I was like bundled up. We were watching Hallmark. I got my hot chocolate going. Yes, it was lovely.
I, however, was still in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah. So, hey, Dad Bedek. Hey, Benny. How's everybody doing? Good. I'm glad it looks awesome. I'm excited. This is a new platform. So, I did video production for over 32 years, and I've taken 90 minutes of tutorials to learn how to use this software. It's like so exciting. I'm like, oh my God, this is like real professional software that I still don't know how to use. But you know what? We're just going to wing it. So good to see everybody. Lots of stuff going on in the world of cruising. So many ships coming out, so many new ships being launched, and of course, Jamaica. So I don't know if you all saw my video yesterday. The Ministry of Tourism has set a target of December 15th to be fully open for all tourism in Jamaica. I think that's a pretty aggressive goal. I hope they make it. I hope they can do it. But he's hoping that by December 15th, they can bring the cruise ship back in. I know some of the resorts are saying they're going to open by November 15th. I've been following along with some of my colleagues in KHM Travel, and like some of the resorts are saying that they're going to reopen around November 15th. So they're trying to get a jump on things. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I mean, I think December 15th is pretty aggressive, but hey, if they can do it, it is one of the main economic driving engines of Jamaica is tourism. It's over 197. I think it was $197 million. That's a lot of money. So they have a lot of incentive to go ahead and get that going as quickly as possible. Annette wants to know, what does my shirt say? Annette, this is one of the original Virgin Voyages shirts. So it says Voyages up the side, but it is one of my original Virgin Voyages shirts is what this is. Every time I wear it on the ship, I always get a lot of compliments from the crew because they know they haven't made this shirt in years. So every time I wear it on the ship, they're like, oh my gosh, that's one of the original shirts. So yeah, I love it. So, and of course, we just got off our 13 nights on Virgin Voyages. And if you haven't watched it yet, I literally have a full, and you may not watch the whole 9 hours, but I literally have 9 hours of us going through the nor'easter on the Brilliant Lady. I was able to get the door open. It was not easy to get the door open to get out onto the balcony, but I got the camera mounted onto the balcony and I hooked up a brick to it. And man, that thing, I just left it alone. I walked away because it was so crazy stormy out there. I just left the camera alone. And when I went to get it later, it was like, oh my gosh, 9 hours. It ran for 9 hours. And it is one of the coolest videos that I put up there, just the view from our balcony looking out. So if you want to see what it looks like for a nor'easter, going through a nor'easter, go ahead and check out that video. It is really awesome. So Alex, it's cold outside. You need to move to the south. I'm telling you, what is it? It's like in the mid 70s right now, I think it is. It's
something like
gorgeous,
that.
like no humidity right now, which is crazy for Florida. You know, Florida, we always have all this humidity.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
Right
there's
now-
some humidity, but relatively
Yeah.
speaking,
Relatively speaking, it's really low.
yeah.
Yeah, so, and we're going to Animal Kingdom this week because they're doing the previews for Zootopia Better Together. So hopefully we're going to be able to get in.
And it's going to be back up to the 80s.
Yeah, it'll be back up to the 80s. So, so we'll be going on over there this week. I'm really looking forward to it. So,
Hopefully we can get in.
yeah, hopefully we can get in. Yeah. So, Max, of course, I'm talking about one of the USB bricks. I'm just really happy that the camera stayed on the railing, and I'm happy that the brick stayed connected. So that thing ran. I got this, you know, I've always used GoPros all these years, and I had 2 GoPros die way too quickly, and then the batteries were swelling up. I was getting really tired of GoPros, so I switched over to the DJI Action Pro 5. Oh my gosh, what a difference since I've gotten that camera. And that camera can actually run for 2 hours all by itself just on the battery. So when you plug the brick in, it's actually just continually charging up that battery, which is pretty cool. And it ran for 9 hours. Now, I can run that camera for 12 hours straight on one card, on the card that I have. So that's pretty doggone cool to be able to do that. So good morning, Betty. How are you? Good to see you. So again, we're going to be here for about the next hour or so. If you've got any questions about all things cruising, travel, the ships, the itineraries, everything, just go ahead and drop them in the comments. We will do our very best to answer them. While we're waiting on some of your questions, we're going to go through some of the tutorials, some of the
Because
group
everyone
cruises.
wants to learn.
Yeah,
how to
everybody
use
wants
this
to learn
software.
how to do this. I've literally been watching all the tutorials on this software for like the past 2 days straight. So, but the big cruise that we're really promoting right now, and everybody is so excited. I want to say we have 56 people already on this river cruise. It is Christmas time on the Rhine. December 7th through the 14th, 2027, we're going to be on the Avalon View. We'll start in Basel, Switzerland. We'll end up in Frankfurt, Germany. It is a 7-night cruise. Our group rate is $400 off per person. We locked in. And the interesting thing is, it's not only $400 off per person. We actually locked in a promotional rate, which I didn't realize we were going to be able to do, but we locked in a promotional rate, and each time the price goes up on Avalon, our price gets even better and better. So when I did this graphic, it was $400 per person savings. It might even be slightly higher now that the pricing keeps changing. But we have 1/3 of the ship already. You know, these ships only carry about 140 people, 150 people, so we already have 1/3 of the ship. And we were very intentional in choosing this particular Christmas markets cruise. You know, it is December 7th through the 14th, so you can be home for Thanksgiving, you can be home for Christmas, and in fact, you can go do your Christmas shopping over in Europe and then bring a bunch of gifts back. Plus, you have almost 2 full years to pay for this cruise because, you know, number one, river cruises are more expensive just by their very nature. Then throw in Christmas markets, which is only 3.5 weeks, they get a little bit more expensive. So the final payment on this cruise is not due until September of 2027. So you have 2 entire years to pay for this thing. And then we chose Avalon Waterways specifically because of their panorama suites. They have, I believe it's 11-foot wide glass by floor to ceiling. Like the whole wall is glass looking out, and your bed is facing that glass. So, you know, you can get up in the morning or at night and you can just look out. And 2 of those panels slide open. So it is a big French balcony if you want to open that up. Now in December, I don't know how often you're going to want to open the glass doors in your room, but this is the main reason why we chose Avalon Waterways for this particular Christmas markets, because of the big panorama suite, and almost the entire ship is the panorama suite. If the only rooms that are not are the ones below the waterline. So if you want to come join us, we have our rate until they run out. Basically, that's what Avalon Waterways told us. Until the rooms run out, we have them. We currently have about 1/3 of the ship. It's going to be so much fun. So if you've ever thought about Christmas markets, you want to go over to Europe, this would be a great one to join us on December 7th through the 14th, 2027. If you want any information about this cruise or any of our group cruise, you just simply go to where'swaltertravel.com, click on group travel. All of our trips are right there, and I'll walk through them as we go through. Oh my gosh. Now, Alex has a question, right? Actually has a good question because I did do a video on this recently. Let's see what happens when I click this, Alex. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I haven't played with this yet. Oh, and I can move it around and all kinds of stuff. So I haven't played with the comments yet. So you're the first comment, Alex. How about that? So congratulate Rebecca, giving you applause. First comment on the new software. So, and while I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and modify the graphics so we can see it better. So, so Alex, you want to know what is the some of the good sales right now. So I think one of the best deals going right now, actually Virgin Voyages has brought back the bar tab. And you know, that's pretty good right now. I think the excursions and the drink packages are going to be where you're going to find most of the savings, really, honestly.
And not every line, because some lines don't really do much discounting on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like some lines, their drink packages are just set, and they never or almost never go on sale, such as Carnival.
That's true. That's true. Carnival very, very rarely goes on sale. Yeah, no, it very rarely
But
goes on
shore
sale.
excursions is really, that's a good place to look for discounts.
I think so. I think the shore excursions are where you're going to find, like shore excursions, sometimes with the drink packages, sometimes
I would
not.
say Royal Caribbean and Celebrity are the ones where you're most likely to find discounts on things other than shore excursions, little extras.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably true. Aha, I was trying to find the opacity on the background with Alex, so I just found it, Alex. Look at that. I just found it. I'm messing with this in real time while we're chatting. Sorry. All right, how about that? Done. I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to get out of that. So thank you very much, guys, for humoring me. All right, there we go. Got it. Hi, guys. I'm playing with software and I'm answering your questions at the same time. Yay, that was fun. And Betty is saying that she has found some good pre-Black Friday deals on the celebrity excursion. The excursions and drink packages, dining packages, that's where you start to see most of your sales and your quote-unquote better prices. So I would certainly be looking at those right now.
And honestly, the only way to know for sure that you're getting a deal, no matter what it is you're looking at, is to have been tracking it all along.
Yeah. I mean, you have to track it. We can certainly help with that, just in the sense that because we're booking so many of these cruises, or we're researching so many of these cruises, we can kind of tell by looking, going, yeah, that's not a great rate, or this is actually a pretty good rate. Like right now,
I wouldn't say they're necessarily bad rates, they're just not as good as they make them out to be.
Well, what I'm saying is we can tell whether or not it's actually a good deal. You know, is it a good deal or not? Like right now, Virgin Voyages with their 80% off, you know, with the second sailor, the essential rates are more or less the same, you know, and it depends on the sailing, obviously. But the thing that Virgin has done is they've added that bar tab back on top. So now you're getting a free bar tab back on top. So even if you're paying the same rate as you were at 70%, now you've got a bar tab being put on top. And I believe that's for the sea terraces and up. So it all depends. And as I said in my video, you know, sometimes it's like, yeah, it's 70% off, you know, all Royal Caribbean, but it might just be one of the 8 interior categories that has the sale, or it might be 1 or 2 of the balcony categories that has the sale. The other 25, they're still the same, or maybe they've gone up. It's really tricky with these sales because, you know, the cruise lines are just throwing those big numbers at you, you know, 60%, 70%, 80% off, buy one, get one free, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, they just manipulate the base price so that 80% off is based on whatever new price we've just set it at. And sometimes, like I showed in the video, you know, sometimes the price is either exactly the same, maybe it's gone up a little bit, maybe it's just gone down by a couple of dollars. It's really hard to tell unless you've been tracking it. Now, we don't track every single cruise, we don't track every single thing, but because we're always in there doing the research and we're looking, we can have a sense pretty quickly of, yeah, this really is a good rate, or no, it's not a great rate. Now, always keep in mind that with almost every cruise line, we can refare. So if you book today, and then, because, wave season is coming. What is wave season? Wave season is traditionally when the most cruises are booked for the entire year, and that is typically January to March, maybe January to April. So that's coming, and that's usually when the cruise lines have the best deals of the entire year. So that's still coming. And, now we got Black Friday kind of backing into that. So, if you book today, who knows, maybe in January, the wave special is going to be even better. And we might rebook you, or we might refare you. So, when you're working with somebody like us, we can help with that. I get emails every single week. Hey, Walt, I think the price may have gone down. Can you check it? It takes me like 30 seconds to jump in and check it. If it has gone down, and if that cruise line does allow you to refare it, then I can go ahead and do a repricing or a refare, or I can at least check it to make sure, hey, is this the right thing? Are you gaining something? Because when we reprice, when we refare, you're going to get the current promotion. And the promotion that you had when you booked it might still be better. Maybe you have some extra onboard credit. Maybe you've got some extra drink packages. Maybe you've got some, whatever it is that you're now going to lose if we go ahead and refare. Yeah, maybe the price is going to go down, but it's a net loss for you because you also lost your onboard credit. So there's a lot of factors that come into play with, is it a better deal? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just stick with what you got because it's better. Now, Dave Mann says, I can't believe what Norwegian's doing with more at sea. I'm assuming you're talking about in March when you're no longer going to be able to use it on the island. Honestly, not a surprise. Carnival does the exact same thing. Carnival, you cannot use the drinks package when you're on Celebration Key. What about Princess? Can you use it on Princess Key?
You didn't used to be. I don't know what currently the rule is.
Yeah.
I think maybe currently you can.
Yeah, so, it's up and down. I honestly can't remember what MSC's policy is on Ocean Key.
We didn't have a drink package, so I don't know.
Yeah, so MSC also has a drink package. So it varies based on the cruise lines, what they're going to do. Of course, it's a lot different when you were able to use it and now you're not. I think it's kind of crazy that they're saying, oh, well, you can have another drinks package just for the island. That's kind of nuts. But that kind of follows is Royal Caribbean with the Royal Beach Club saying that, this is a paid excursion, but it's an all-inclusive excursion. So you'll get the drinks, you'll get the, you get the meals, you get everything included when you book that. So it's sort of kind of like that, and that, so it's a free island, but you can also get a drink package on top of that. But also, you're going to be paying for the water park, probably. You're going to be paying for some of those things, just like Coco Cay. You got to pay for the water park, you got to pay for Hideaway Beach, you got to pay for a lot of things over there. I mean, cruise lines are going to do what the cruise lines are going to do, and they've done the research. When Virgin Voyages announced when Virgin Voyages announced all these new cruise fares, there was so much negativity on social media. And Virgin Voyages had done the market research before they did it. Sure enough, once they released these things, suddenly their sales were actually higher than before the voyage fare because people did actually want choices. So, yes, the drink package works at it does work at Ocean Key? Thank you. I appreciate that. So it works so I know it works at Coco Cay at the moment, and then it works at Ocean Key. But I know it does not work at Celebration Key with Carnival, and of course, pretty soon it's not going to work at Norwegian. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm just excited that they're finally getting a pier. We still, in 3 cruises, we still have never visited Great Stirrup Key. The first 2 times it was called off. The last time, the tender operation from the Aqua were just ridiculous, and it was a very short stop, so we didn't bother getting off the ship. So I'm just glad they're finally getting a pier at Great Stirrup Key. I mean, that's just going to be nice right there. So, hey, Greg, how are you? Good to see you. Almost retired abroad. I love that handle. That's a lot of fun. What cabin types are still remaining on your Celebrity Best of Italy and Croatia transatlantic group cruises? So, the transatlantic part is not the group cruise, first of all. So we have group rates on the Italy part. And in fact, let me go ahead and put that up there right now. We can talk about that at the same time. So, oops, sorry about that. Let's see, put that back on. There we go. Hey, I'm still learning the software. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to move you up a little bit. Look at that in real time. He's moving graphics around. If you weren't here at the beginning, I'm trying out a brand new software for YouTube, so just bear with me. I'm a video nerd. I'm a geek. So on the 10-day portion of the cruise, which is October 23rd through November 2nd of 2026, we'll be on the Celebrity Constellation. That will be from Ravenna, which is about 3.5 hours outside of Venice. And then we're going to come around to Civitavecchia. We're going to stop in Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia, and then we'll end up in Civitavecchia. Then the back-to-back cruise, the very next sailing for the Celebrity Constellation, is a 15-day transatlantic coming across to San Juan. So our group cruise is that first portion of it. It is the 10 nights from Ravenna to Civitavecchia. I believe we have 1 or 2 concierge balconies left. We may have 1, maybe 2 prime verandas left. And our group rate includes the Celebrity all-included Wi-Fi and beverage package, and our group rate is lower than the standard rate for Celebrity right now. So you can book it through Celebrity with nothing on it, or you can book it through me and get the package, and you're going to pay less than if you booked it through Celebrity right now. On the transatlantic, we don't have group rates, so it's whatever the prevailing rates are. I think we have 2 couples who are actually going to do the entire cruise with us. We're going to be on the entire sailing for 25 days. So if you'd like to come along, if anybody would like to come along, obviously just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. If you want the group rates, don't wait. What do we have? We have 14 cabins, I believe, booked on this one, something like that. So yeah, we got like 28 people coming on this one, which should be a lot of fun. And I believe there's 2 other couples who are staying on the ship the entire time. Actually, it might be 2 couples, and I don't know if Agnes is staying on as well. But yeah, no, if you'd like to come along, absolutely reach out. So again, that is October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026, Celebrity Constellation, sailing from Ravenna to Civitavecchia. I am working on putting together a pre-cruise land tour, or at least a land adventure, because since we're not going to stay on the ship, since we're not getting off the ship when it comes around to Civitavecchia, which is your gateway to Rome, we're going to fly. My plan is to fly into Rome, spend a couple days in Rome, then get up to Venice, spend a couple days in Venice, and then overnight in Ravenna the night before the cruise. So we're trying to put together something for a land tour pre-cruise. So we're working with a couple of our partners right now, and once we have something, I'm going to share it with everybody in the group if you want to do that as well. And even those who are staying in Civitavecchia after, like staying in Rome after the cruise, we're saying, that might be kind of a cool thing, because then we can just do a round trip flight Rome versus, flying into Venice and then flying out of Rome. So yeah, so we may do that as well. But thank you for the question, Almost Retired Abroad. I hope you reach out. It'd be great to talk to you. Super Nurse, do I know if the water park is open in Costa Maya Port yet? If you are talking about the new Perfect Day Mexico from Royal Caribbean, I don't think that opens. Does it open in 26 or 27? I don't even know when that opens.
Sure.
If you're talking about the new Perfect Day from Royal Caribbean, that's a ways off yet. That is a ways off. That's a big undertaking. And I honestly can't remember if it'll be open in 26 or 27. I think Rebecca's going to do some research right now.
Fall of 27.
Fall of 27. So we got 2.
But I don't know if any of the stuff that's already there is still operating.
Oh, yeah, no, I think the port itself is still operational. Everything that was at the port, I think is still operational. But the new Perfect Day is what's coming. So yeah. Alex wants to know when we'll be announcing our next group cruise. We don't know. We've got enough going on right now. We did have that phenomenal show with Riverside Luxury Cruises, and I am seriously looking at a couple of those potential river cruises. But that's all I can say at this time. Rebecca and I haven't really looked, because I'd like to do Riverside Luxury Cruises. I'd like to do Explorer Journeys for sure. Those are a couple that I'd like to do. And, we're managing quite a few right now. I mean, we've got that big one with Tony coming up in April. So, in fact, I'll talk through a few more as well. But yeah, I don't know, Alex. You know, we're trying to be very intentional with them now versus, you know, there are some agents out there that just have like group cruises all the time. And they're just not very interesting, right? There's like, oh, let's go to the Caribbean. Well, let's go to here, let's go there. I think one of the things that we learned, just being very honest, is when we did the Norwegian Aqua cruise, we just figured because, oh, it's a new ship, everybody's going to want to come on this and see it because it's going to be so cool. And honestly, it was one of the smallest groups we've ever had because people
Which was nice.
Oh, the ship was gorgeous.
No, I mean, the small group was
Oh,
nice.
no, yeah, that's true. The small group was fabulous. It was actually really nice traveling with just a small group of people. But it did have the least amount of interest, and we were like, okay, well, maybe the new ships don't. And so we're trying to put together groups that might be a little bit more of interest to people, because I do like traveling with the small groups. But, you know, a brand new ship in the Caribbean.
Well, and it also
maybe
wasn't
not.
the first of its class.
True. So we're trying to be a little bit more intentional with what we select as a group. And of course, you know, now that we've got this great partnership with Tony and Jenny B, we're also talking to them because, you know, we kind of doubled up on Canada, New England without intending to do that. We had already booked the Brilliant Lady when they came and said, hey, we want to do the Enchanted Princess, and they're like, can you guys come along? We're like, no, we can't. So we're also coordinating with Tony and Jenny B to see what they're going to do and, you know, make sure that we don't overlap with them because we really want to be on board with them to help them, you know, manage these big groups. So I don't know yet, Alex. We'll work on that soon. Hey, Steven, you're on the Silhouette. So far, amazing food, drink, and music. Please have an old-fashioned for me at the World Class Bar. That is where I learned that I loved old-fashions on that particular ship. I never had a good old-fashioned until I went on Celebrity. It wasn't a Silhouette because I didn't go there. It was a Reflection with Sean and Steph.
Yep.
Sean and Steph are the ones that introduced me to it. Hey, Silver Librarian, how are you? Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Sunday, it's Sunday. I was live yesterday too. If you didn't see the show, I had the Cruise Monkeys on yesterday. So I've had this graphic on, for those of you watching on YouTube. If you haven't made any Christmas plans this year, we're going on one of the most beautiful ships I think I've ever seen in my life. We were coming into Miami and we opened the blinds on the Brilliant Lady and there was the Cunard Queen Elizabeth right outside our window sliding by into her berth. Oh my God, what a gorgeous ship. I mean, just classic, beautiful, gorgeous ship. If you want to come join us for Christmas this year, if you haven't made any plans, there's still room on this vessel. This is not our group cruise. This is what's called a distinctive voyage through our travel consortium. And what that means is you get the services of a distinctive voyages host or a concierge. That's actually going to be me. I'm hosting this. And then you'll get a free shore excursion in St. Lucia, and you're going to get a cocktail reception on the voyage. So it's December 18th through the 30th of 2025 this year, and we're starting out in Miami. We go to San Juan, Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin, and Tortola. 12 nights. 12 nights for Christmas. You don't get New Year's. New Year's will be another cruise, or you can always go back to back and stay on the ship. But if you would like to come with us on that one, that's going to be this year. This is not, again, not my group cruise. I believe there's 58 people or 60 people who have booked this under the distinctive voyage, so you will be with a nice group of people. And I'm going out probably tomorrow to pick out my tuxedo. So if you want to see me in a tuxedo, this will be the time to do it. So yeah, so if you're not doing anything for this Christmas, certainly do come and join us. Darla wants to know, do I know where the MSC private island is located? Is it open yet? Yeah, the MSC private island's been open for 8 years now?
Oh, really, that long?
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know, it's been open a while.
Been open for years, yeah. It's in the Bahamas. It is in the Bahamas. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it is there. Yes, Explora is stopping there. Now, that is that would be a super cool stop. Explorer Journeys is stopping there. Only having 900 people on the island would be amazing. But yeah, that is an MSC
Maybe
owned.
they would do something with the food.
I have
the
no
island.
idea. I don't know, but
That'd be fun.
But Explorer has been stopping there already. in the past. I've seen some itineraries with explorers stopping there, and that's one of the reasons why that new terminal was built the way it was. It can hold 2 big ships. It can also hold an explorer ship, so they can do 3 ships on a single day. So yeah, it's in the Bahamas. I don't remember precisely where it is, but it's called Ocean Key, and it's part of a whole marine reserve. And they're actually building, well, they're not building, but they're expanding. When the ship backs in, if you're on the very back of the ship and you just kind of look to the right, there's this small island off to the right if you look back there. And I have been saying for a while, you know, that would almost be kind of like a cool little like a yacht club island or some exclusive island. And apparently they're doing something with that island right now. Don't know when that's going to open, but they are doing something with that island right now. So yeah, that'll be super cool when that's open. But Ocean Key's been open. Yeah, maybe it was more like 2021, 2019. I don't know. It's been open for a while. It's a really great success story. You can look up the documentary on YouTube. That it was a mining operation there. They used to mine sand. I think sand for concrete or sand for something. And so it was a whole mining operation. So MSC put tons and tons of money to clean up that entire operation. But what they gained with it, that's why their ship can dock right up against the island. Most of the other islands, they had these long piers that you have to walk up because it's so shallow. But because they had, you know, they had already dredged it and everything to have, you know, the big container ship pull right up to the island. You know, MSC's island is brilliant because the ship is right there. You walk off and you go right on in. Oops, I didn't realize I hit that. Did I hit that? Oops, sorry. So yeah, it's super cool.
It opened December of 2019.
There you go, 2019. And I see we have an answer. It's located in the district of Bimini. Thank you very much for that, Ace. I appreciate the help. I do. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Wow, this is pretty cool. I'm still getting used to this whole thing. I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, so, and thank you for that answer. Another big group that we've got going on is the Hawaii group. Anybody want to go Hawaii with us? I saw Eric was on the broadcast. He's going to Hawaii with us in February of next year. This is going to be great. If you've always wanted to do like a transatlantic because you love the sea days, but you really don't want to have to like start in the U.S. and end in Europe or start in Europe and end in the U.S., this is a cruise for you. This is 10 sea days, but it's round trip Los Angeles. So we start in Los Angeles. We're going to do 4 days around the islands, and we have to come back to Ensenada because legally we have to stop in Ensenada. And then we'll come back to Los Angeles. So it's a 16-day cruise, February 4th through the 20th. We still have space on this one. Now we're past final payment, so you would have to pay in full.
We're almost past final payment.
Yeah, well, we're right at final payment.
Yeah.
So basically you would be paying in full at this point if you want to come join. But it is February 4th through the 20th on the Emerald Princess. She is a lovely ship. We've been on sorta kinda her sister. We've been on the Crown Princess, which is sorta kinda a sister to this ship. It's kind of weird, you know, Princess has like, I don't know, they have some ships that don't really have a class. They're all kind of similar, but they don't really have a class name. They're kind of called the Crown class or maybe the Gem class or something like that. But like the Crown, the Emerald, the Grand, there's a bunch of ships in there that all look kind of similar. So yeah.
Well, basically, you've got the Royal class, you've got Coral and Island, and then everything else is all glommed together.
Sort of, yeah. So yeah, but it's a lovely ship. I mean, what I love about these ships is you don't forget that you're on a ship. You know, they are nautical. They have the beautiful teak railings and everything. So yeah, I do love these ships. And Rebecca and I are going to be right on the aft. We've got that beautiful aft view looking back out at the wake. We're very excited about that one. But yeah, if you want to come join us, we're going to try to put together some game days and things like that. Because again, we've got 10 sea days. We've got 10 days just to relax on the ship with nothing going on. Of course, we'll be doing live streams and things like that. And then, of course, the big cruise that we've got going on, we're still well over 200 people on this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tony was like, hey, Norwegian is going out of Philadelphia. We need to be on the first one. And that same day, I went and grabbed a bunch of cabins. We sold out of the group rates within the first week. I mean, they were just all claimed within the first week. So currently, we're booking you at prevailing rates, which Norwegian is not having a bad sale right now. They've got a pretty good We got a pretty good sale going on right now.
And particularly if you want interiors or ocean views.
Yeah. So Norwegian Jewel leaving out of Philadelphia on April 16th through the 23rd of 2026. A whole bunch of us, so this is a Thursday to Thursday cruise, a whole bunch of us are flying in on Monday, and we're going to spend 2 days exploring Philadelphia. I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to do food tour, we got a history tour planned, and we've got one particular tour partner who is offering 10% off to everybody in the group for taking any one of their tours. So if you want to come and spend a couple days in Philadelphia, you can also do that. But Norwegian Jewel, Philadelphia, Bermuda, and Charleston, South Carolina. So it's like the Lalita Loca Triangle. And we were just in Charleston. Wow, that might be my favorite U.S. port. Because it's so rare you get to go there, first of all. But second of all, I mean, when you port, you just walk like 2 blocks. And you're at the Central Market, and you're right in the historic district. Oh, my God, I absolutely love Charleston.
Might be slightly more than 2 blocks, but like a
2 blocks.
5-minute walk, maybe.
15-minute walk for her, yeah.
Depends on if it's the beginning of the day or the end of the day.
Yeah. But what a beautiful spot. What an absolutely beautiful spot to come into. So if you want to go on this one, it is April 16th through the 23rd, 2026. We're going to be on the Norwegian Jewel. It needs to be a smaller ship in order to get under the 2 bridges. 2 bridges, I believe. So Domenico, I hope I said that right. When are you going to do a Japan group in the future? Trust me, we have actually talked about that. We have some clients who are doing Japan, and I was like, oh my God, look at these cruises. What I really want to do myself, I kind of want to do it the reverse of what we're doing with Italy. I want to take a ship from like Vancouver or Seattle and go across to Japan and then do Japan. I can't remember who we just booked. We just booked somebody. It was like that. I was like, oh God, Rebecca, we got to do Japan. That would be a lot of fun. So it's on the radar. It is definitely on the radar.
I wouldn't say it's super soon, though.
I would say super soon, but she's not going to. No. Maybe 28. I would think 28 would be the earliest if we were going to do it Japan. But it is literally something that we have talked about that is coming. I can tell you it's coming. We would just have to figure out which. Betty is going in April of 27. I think it might have been your cruise was the one that made me think that we should do a group at some point. So that's April of 27. You never know. It could be that one. 27, it's not bad. Well, you got the Christmas cruise in December. We don't have anything else in 27 right now. We got to talk about it off camera.
Yes. Definitively.
Yes. She won't allow us to have this live discussion right now. But yeah, I think Betty, it was actually yours, was the cruise that kind of, because we have one client, one client who's doing like 38 days. They're doing a back-to-back on the Celebrity Summit, I think it is. And I was like, oh my God, what a beautiful cruise. So yeah, and Mindy, who's one of my associates, she's taking a Japan cruise next year as well. Like I think it's in June, May or June. So she's going on over. So yeah, Japan's on the list, 100%. Kathy wants to know, how is Bermuda doing with Hurricane Melissa? I haven't heard much of anything from Bermuda. I think
there have been.
It was more of a glancing blow than it was, or even if it was a straight hit, it had died down enough. So I haven't really heard much of anything in regards to Bermuda, so I'll have to take a look.
I mean, obviously, it seems like the worst hit was Jamaica with
Jamaica, yeah,
Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Cuba also having issues.
And we have 6 months until we go, so even if there was anything that happened, I mean, there are 6 months between now and the time that we show up. But I have not heard of any cruises like canceling their visits to Bermuda. Now, I haven't really been paying attention because I've been looking at all the Jamaica stuff. So I really don't know. I have not heard anything about that at all. So that's right. Eric is going to Japan in November of next year. That's going to be exciting. Alex says 165 days until the sail date of Philadelphia. That's going to be awesome. Betty, New Zealand, winter of 28. That'll be super cool too. I mean, Australia, New Zealand, that's another place that's on my list. I'd love to do that. We still haven't done Norway. We need to go up to Norway. I'd like to do Norway and Iceland.
Well, and I think we have finally decided that we are allowed to have some cruises that aren't groups.
Yes, no,
So
yeah.
not everything we want to do is going to be a group.
No. So But you know, you all are going to know when we're going on these cruises. So if you want to join us, certainly. But you know, it is fun to bring a group, and it is nice. Like our Alaska group was a small group, so you know, it is nice when we've got these smaller groups too, where we can all just kind of hang out. Like Hawaii, I think it's like 8 staterooms or something like that. So it's going to be a nice small group. We can just kind of hang out and chat. And have fun. You know, it is nice when you've got, you know, the 100, the 200 people, and you're like, oh wow, this is like a lot of fun. But at the same time, it is a lot of work. So yeah, so you just never know.
And I did just look up, I didn't see anything about major damage in Bermuda, but it was only a
Yeah.
Cat 2 when it got to Bermuda. So it
Yeah.
wasn't nearly what it was.
Yeah, and ACE is saying that they got high gusts, some power outages, but normal activity is already resuming back to that school.
Yeah, and as we learned from our tour, they have really thought about their building codes, and
Yes.
they really have things set up so they're
Yeah.
as hurricane
That's right.
safe as they can be.
That's right. I forgot all about that during our tour. She was actually talking about all the hurricane preparations in Bermuda and how everything was like thick cinder block and all of
they did some
that.
special things
Yeah.
with their roofs, so they were fine.
That's
Yes.
right. The roofs are made in a certain way so that they don't get torn up. That's right. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, they do their roofs in a certain way.
Don't ask me the specifics, I can't remember that.
Yeah, but I remember she was talking about how the roofs can't be blown off or something like that. That's right. You're absolutely right. They do have a lot of anti-hurricane protection stuff in there. Barbara lived in Okinawa for 3 years, also deployed to northern Japan. You love it there. I'm telling you, I want to go to Japan. Anybody who has Amazon Prime, there's a series on there with James May, Our Man in Japan. Highly recommend it. One is hilarious, but two is actually a really cool look at areas that you may or may not have gone to. So yeah. Becky wants to know, are we going to have a meetup at Disney Anaheim before the Hawaii cruise? We're going to be there. Yes, we're going to be staying in Pixar Place, and we're going to be there for 3 days before the cruise?
Well, 3.5, I think.
3.5, yeah, so 4 days counting the day we land. So yeah, if you want to get together, we could put together a quote-unquote meetup, you know, maybe, what is it called? It's not called Disney Springs, it's called Disney, Downtown Disney. Downtown Disney. So we could, maybe we could do a meetup at Downtown Disney. That would be a lot of fun. That would definitely be a lot of fun. So,
And certainly if anybody else is planning to go to the parks, let us know.
yeah, if anybody else is going to be in the park. I mean, I'll obviously be letting y'all know in the Facebook group and all of that. So, Stefan is looking forward to the first Caribbean cruise over the holidays. What to do with 2 full days in Fort Lauderdale? Well, one, the beach, for sure. The beach is lovely. Fort Lauderdale has, East Los Olas Boulevard. That's where all of your dining and a lot of shopping is. You also have the water taxi. I highly recommend that you hop on that water taxi and, you know, maybe just do a loop. Do a loop on the water taxi, and you're going to see the water taxi is going to take you to all of, you know, the main touristy areas. But there's East Los Olas Boulevard is like the place where a lot of the food and the dining is. Other than that, I mean, I eat a lot of food. When I'm in Fort Lauderdale, there's a lot of great places to eat. That I can tell you. Rebecca, you got any thoughts for Fort
I
Lauderdale?
mean, we've generally only been there for a single day before a cruise, so.
Yeah,
But yeah, we've done the water taxi.
water taxi's fabulous.
And we all have friends there, so we do often meet up with our friends.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the street that they take us to. They take us to an area where that's just loaded with restaurants down that street. You just park and then you walk up and down that street, and I'm blanking on it, but it's something like, you know, here in Winter Park, we have Park Avenue. So you just park on Park Avenue, and then there's just restaurants all up and down the street. And they took us somewhere, and I really wish I could remember what it is. But Fort Lauderdale is a fabulous place. You know, like I said, you got the beach, you got the water taxi. So yeah, you certainly have a lot of fun down there. So yeah. Becky said Norway is the most beautiful place on earth. I know you guys were sending us some lovely photos on your celebrity cruise. It is absolutely gorgeous. We've sent so many people to Norway. We haven't been there ourselves. Of course, the one I want to do, I don't think Rebecca wants to do because it's in the wintertime.
That will be a tough sell.
I want to do, Hurtigruten has Follow the Northern Lights in the wintertime, which is Norway and Finland, Norway, and
Finland, I
Iceland.
believe.
Yeah, I think it's Norway and Finland, which is 17 days. Is land and water, and it's just like one of the most spectacular itineraries I've ever seen. But of course, you're there in the winter. It is freezing cold. I would love it. Rebecca's like, you go ahead. I might be doing a solo trip.
I haven't totally ruled it out,
Yeah.
but it's not high on my list.
It's very high on my list. If you've never looked it up, Herdegruten has something called Follow the Northern Lights, and it is like just spectacular. And yes, you are in the wintertime. Yes, you will be over there in the winter. Yes, it's going to be cold, but my God, does it look amazing. And Herdegruten is a cruise line that offers if you really want to go see the Northern Lights, they offer a Northern Lights guarantee. There's a certain time frame, I want to say it's like December to March, maybe November to March, but there's a certain time window that if you book a cruise that is a Northern Lights guaranteed cruise, and you don't see the Northern Lights, or I think the exact wording is, if the Northern Lights are not within a visible distance of the ship at any time during the sailing, you get to come back and try again. So that's kind of cool.
Now,
That's
whether
kinda
you
cool.
wake up in the middle of the night to see them.
Yeah. You can have alarms, like where they will call your room and say, hey, Northern Lights are out, get out here now. Because from what I understand, sometimes it's only like,
15
5
minutes.
minutes,
Yeah.
10 minutes, like they're there and then they're gone. It's not like they just hang around forever. So yeah. But that would be absolutely stonking amazing to do something like that. So yeah. Hey, by the way, the Virgin Voyages Top 100 thing is now done. So I'm hoping that maybe we're going to be a three-peat this year. Haven't heard
They
yet.
changed the rules on how they calculate it, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, no, they're changing next year.
Oh, next year.
Next year,
Okay.
yeah. Lisa, you're leaving out of Miami on Carnival in 2 weeks. Is the Intercontinental Hotel a good place to stay? I don't know.
I've
never
good
booked
things.
anybody there.
I've heard good things. It's, I
Yeah.
think usually a little more on the expensive side, so not a whole lot of people book it, but
Yeah, we have not booked that particular hotel that I can recall. We book a lot of what we book in hotel, the Kimpton hotels. There's the Kimpton Angler, the Kimpton Surfcomber, the Yotel Motel. We booked actually quite a few people into that one. The Hampton Inn Brickell, and what else down at South Beach? Oh yeah, there's the Villa Italia. We've only booked a couple people there. It just depends on whether you want to be in Miami, like Brickell, you want to be in Miami Beach, you want to be in South Beach. I love South Beach. I think South Beach is like the coolest place to stay, just because, when you stay in a hotel and you just get out and you can walk around and there's so much food, so much to do. So, but I don't know the Intercontinental Hotel in Miami. I'm sorry, that's one that we have not, at least I don't think we booked it in the past. But I know the Kimptons are really good, because we've actually stayed at the Surfcomber. That's fabulous. You walk out the back, you go through the pool area, and then you're on the beach, so you're literally right there. The Kimpton Angler is kind of nice too. It's got a big rooftop pool on top. Yotel Motel is a very cost-effective hotel that's literally right next to, what is it called, Bayside Marketplace?
I want to say the Intercontinental might be one of those that you can see the cruise port from the hotel if you're on the correct side
Yeah, if
of
you're on the right
hotel.
side. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, you're going to have a lot of fun. Certainly, always look. Whenever you're going out of Miami, check the cruise schedule to see how many ships are going to be in port. If you have 5 or more, it's going to be a very, very busy day. If you have 4 or less, it shouldn't be quite as bad getting in. Traffic is an issue. I don't know how they're going to fix it. They really need to have a train. They got this cute little people mover that can move people around at Miami, and it would be really, really nice if they had a spur that went out to the cruise port, so you could actually take the train out there. So, but we do Uber Lyft, and we always try to arrive on the earliest side of whenever we're allowed to get in, just so we're kind of beating some of the traffic. And when you're exiting the ship at the end of your cruise, I highly recommend, getting out of Port of Miami by 9 a.m. Don't be hanging around until 10 or 11 a.m. because the traffic's really picking up, and then it's hard for the Ubers, the Lyft, the shuttles to get to you. So I always recommend trying to get out of there by 9 a.m. So Willie B, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for dropping in. You know, by the way, I always forget this. I always forget to tell you that if you want to ask questions about Virgin Voyages on TikTok, you can't use the word virgin. So weird. But you can use the letters VB. So if you've been trying to ask me a question about Virgin Voyages and you're getting frustrated on TikTok, it's not me. It's the platform. So sorry about that. I always forget about that. Because we are broadcasting on 4 different platforms all simultaneously. Although somebody popped up and said we may have dropped off Facebook. I don't know. Well, I'll have to check with Ecamm to find out what that's all about. But I always forget that one particular platform, if you want to ask questions about Virgin Voyages, sorry, I can't help you there. So, but yeah, so what else have we got going on, Rebecca? How many days? So Alex said 164 days. What did he say? He said 165 days until Philadelphia. What do you got?
That's what I have.
Hey, Alex, you are absolutely correct.
You have 12 days to Margaritaville.
That is true. 12 days to Margaritaville. I'm going to be on the Margaritaville Islander. If anybody watching is going to be on a Margaritaville Islander November 14th through the 18th. I know Benny's going to be there. November 14th through the 18th. If you're going to be on there, then we will be there. I'm actually going to a seminar. I'm attending a seminar with Margaritaville. Supposedly, we're going to learn some more about the Beachcomber. I'm very excited about that. That Beachcomber ship is going to be sailing out of Miami. They're introducing a whole food hall concept, which is fabulous. They're also about to, so I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but I'm going on the Margaritaville Paradise. It's the one ship that I have said for years, I will never book you on that ship. What changed my mind? Well, she's about to go in for a major renovation in January. Or December, but Margaritaville is sending her in for a major renovation. Every piece of carpet is going, a lot of the furniture going. They're going to be redesigning the buffet into something brand new. And I said, okay, you know what, when your ship is done, so after the Hawaii cruise, which is in February, sometime in March, I will be going on the Margaritaville Paradise for the first time. The one ship that I said I would never, ever, ever, ever book. Who knows? Maybe I'll start booking people after that. But the team over at Margaritaville has been great. They've changed the whole travel agency side has completely changed over. The whole sales team has completely changed over. They're really good partners with travel agents now. They're trying to be better partners with travel agents now. And so this training that I'll be going on in November, that's part of it. And then, you know, they invited me to come on to the Paradise once it's all said and done, just so I can go see it for myself. I don't know if Rebecca's going to be going with me, but
I'll think about it.
But it's super easy to get down there. You know, thank you, Brightline train. I just hop on the Brightline from Orlando. I go down to West Palm Beach, and then I'll catch the ship down there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So. User Ellis or Elliska, you just came back from Adriatic Coast cruise. You want to go back? Oh my gosh, that sounds like it was absolutely gorgeous. Yes, we have so many. You know, some of the ones that I really want to try. We have some of these vendors that have these little yachts with like 36 people, 24 people. I really want to do one of those because you know those are just basically big boats that you can pretty much take anywhere you want to go. And what's really cool about some of them too is that, you know, the itinerary is set, but the itinerary can change, you know, based on things going on, which you really can't do with a big ship. You know, you can't just say, well, you know what, today we're just going to take you on over here instead of this other place because there's something super cool happening. Well, a big ship just simply can't do that because there's no infrastructure. But these little boats, these little yachts, you know, they can totally just change, and they can say, hey, guys, we're supposed to go here, but would you rather go to this other place? So yeah, some of those Adriatic coast, the Dalmatian coast and all of that. Oh my God, there's so many cool things over there. So Benny, if Rebecca goes, you're in. Oh, you mean the Paradise? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and by the way, if you are going to be on a Margaritaville Islander in November, on November 14th, be sure to say hello to Stephanie. Stephanie's coming with me again. We're going to be roommates again. My Labubu education is going to continue. Yes, whether I want it to or not. I think she told me she may or may not have gotten 12 more, so she had 7 on the Star of the Seas. So I really don't know what I'm going to see on the Margaritaville
I'll have a whole
Islander.
suitcase just with Labubus.
Oh my God! So yeah. So So if anybody wants to learn about Labubus, just come on to Margaritaville Islander. Stephanie will do a whole play date with you and explain everything to you. She's so much fun. I love her so much. Because you never know what you're going to see. And of course, if you're going to Disney World anytime soon, you're going to see her work all over the park, especially if you go to that Starlight Parade. You know, she animated Whimsy, the face of Whimsy. Oh, so beautiful and so nice. So, yeah, that'll be funny. Eric says it's 94 days to Hawaii. What do you got?
94.
94. Eric is on it. Man, I'll tell you, it used to be, you know, you guys are like off with Rebecca. Now you guys are like right on with Rebecca, because Rebecca is the official timekeeper over here of when we're going on cruises. So, folks, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering who I am, I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. We are an independent travel agency. We book cruises, land, luxury, expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. We do not charge you a dime for our services. We like to come on every single Saturday and offer, or Sunday. I still don't know what day it is. We try to come on every Sunday for about an hour, hour and a half to answer your questions about all things cruising. And of course, if we can ever help you with anything, certainly just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. Either you can book a meeting with myself, with Corey, with Mindy, any one of the three of us. Be happy to help you book your travels. And we don't charge a dime. So we do that. No, Alex, that's horrible. That's horrible. Alex says there's going to be a Labubu balloon at the Macy's parade. Alex, that's just terrible. I am not going to tell Stephanie that. Nope.
We did see in Times Square when we were there, we did see a big, giant, scary.
Oh, yeah, we saw one of those scary Labubus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, those people that are there like to pose for pictures, they are scary. So, yeah. So, Willie B saying we're the best agents in the world. Thank you, Willie. We try. We're not perfect, but we try. You know, Warren, hello from San Antonio, Texas. How are you? We were just booking some Galveston cruises yesterday. Boy, Galveston's really blowing up, you know? You guys got a lot of stuff over there. You're finally going to get an Icon ship at some point. What was it, 28? They said they were bringing it over. I think maybe later 27. But you're finally going to get an Icon class ship over there, which is going to be nice. It's going to be absolutely amazing when you guys get that over there. Of course, you know, the only downside to Galveston is that, you know, in 7 days, there's really, it's Western Caribbean or Western Caribbean, right? It's Costa Maya, it's Cozumel, Progreso, whatever else is over there that I can't think of right now.
Honduras, Belize.
Yeah, Honduras, Belize. And that's really why Royal Caribbean is building the Perfect Day over there, just so at least there's something, you know, over there, so that because they can't take you around to the Bahamas all the time unless they do like 8 or 9 nights.
And then there's weird drink rules coming out of Texas.
There are,
I don't even really understand them.
But they're coming on strong, man. If they started doing some longer cruises, that would be nice out of Galveston. There's a couple, but it would be nice if, you know, the cruise line started, well, what is it? Is it Carnival's putting 4 ships in there, I believe. So maybe with the 4 ships, they'll be able to offer these longer itineraries, which would be nice, which would be able to take you around until, you know, over to the Bahamas side, which would be fabulous. So, let's see, Val, you're located in San Diego and you want to try a cruise for the first time. 5+ days departing from there. So San Diego is going to be Holland America for the most part.
Actually, there's one other, and I can't remember which cruise line, but there's one other cruise line who's going to start going out of San Diego.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
So Holland America for sure, and then there may be another one. Of course, you've got San Francisco has some cruises out of it, and then LA is the big port going out there. So, but yeah, so you have some choices, you know, depending on whether you want to go to the Mexican Riviera. You could go to Hawaii. There is something called a California Coastal Cruise that is also offered. You still got to go to Mexico or maybe Vancouver. Sometimes it's a one-way. It'll go up to Vancouver and then it'll come back down from Vancouver. So you could also do, there are sometimes basically a round trip through the Panama Canal where the ship will go through the Panama Canal and then come back. Most of the time, the Panama Canal is a one-way. You know, the ship is just repositioning. But there are times when it will go in both directions. So that's a possibility. Really, it's too much for me to try to figure out like right now because I don't have all of the cruise lines and everything in front of me. But if you'd like to reach out, certainly you're watching me on TikTok. There are links in my bio to contact me. Or just go to where'swaltertravel.com, click on contact us and set up an appointment, and we'll give you a call. You can set up an appointment with myself, you can set up an appointment with Corey or Mindy, and one of us will get back to you. And again, our services are 100% free to use, so we don't charge you anything, and we can help you figure out. I mean, that's one of the things that we really love doing, because on your first cruise, you really need to get on the right ship, and you need to get on the right itineraries that we give you the best chance to really enjoy what cruising is all about.
And it's Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas starting in October 26th is going to
Okay.
have part of the season porting there. And San Diego's generally going to be kind of a winter time
Yep.
sailings, because a lot of those ships are in Alaska or Asia in the summer. So
Yeah. So just reach out. Like Rebecca said, San Diego is going to be somewhat limited because it is generally a winter port, but LA runs year round, and there may be some other things that we can do to help you out. But yeah, just reach out. We'd love to help you out, either myself, Corey, or Mindy. Love to. Dave, man, do we book Bella with MSC? We do. We don't recommend it, but we do. So Bella on MSC is what everybody else would call guarantee. But we do book it. We just don't recommend it because you literally have no idea where you're going to be. And, they do have a lot of very loud places on very loud spaces on that ship, and would not want to be near one of those, at least me. So.
we did Bella once because we were going last minute, and it worked out okay, but you just never know.
Yeah, you never know. We got lucky, but you never know. We actually ended up at a good position, yeah. Willie B, Panama to Alaska would be a fun cruise. I'll tell you what was a fabulous cruise. We booked this for a client. They went from Tampa all the way up to Vancouver, or maybe it was Seattle, but it did include Alaska. So they started out in Tampa. This was on Norwegian. I want to say it was the Jade. So they went through the Panama Canal. I think they had a couple stops in California, went up to Alaska, and then ended up in either Vancouver or Seattle. That was an amazing itinerary. Another cool one, Holland America does it from Seattle. They will do Hawaii and Alaska from Seattle, which is actually kind of cool. It's a big circle that they'll do. The other thing, out of San Diego and San Francisco, you can go all the way to Australia and back on a cruise. It's usually Holland America, but next year it's actually Princess that's doing it. So I think they traded off for next year. So that's really interesting. So. Oh, Brandy, you're very kind. Working with us has been the best. Thanks for checking your Philly cruise this past week. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. You just let us know, hey, I think the price may have gone down, so, and then we check it. Yes, Willie B, some of these longer cruises, we find out about them because our clients find them, and I'm like, oh my God, where did you find that? But the one cruise line that does the most round trips that I know of is Holland America. They have one called a Voyage of the Vikings, which is round trip Boston, but you go all the way up to Northern Europe. I can't remember if it goes to Iceland or not, but it does Greenland, it does Northern Europe, does all of Northern, and then it comes back to Boston. So it's round trip Boston, so you don't have to fly. Another.
Internationally, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to fly international. You just got to get to New York. Another cool way to do international. Like one of the reasons why we're doing our Italy cruise and then staying on the ship to come all the way to San Juan, so we don't have to fly, that long flight in both directions. But Cunard, the Queen Mary 2, she does regular transatlantics, and sometimes we can line it up. So you can take the Queen Mary 2 in one or maybe even both directions if you're going to be doing European land tours, you're going to be doing European cruises. And then one of the things that we were talking about with Desiree at Riverside, which was really cool, Riverside Luxury Cruises actually does 3, 4, and 5 night river cruises. And I was like, wow, 3-night river cruise, that's a long way to go for a 3-night river cruise. And she said, we do these so they're kind of like samplers. But if you're doing a European ocean cruise or you're doing a land tour, well, that would be kind of a neat way if you're just like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like river cruising. We can book you on a 3-night on Riverside while you're already in Europe. And that would be a neat way to try it out. Of course, you're going to get spoiled because Riverside is like like, oh my God, their ships are so incredibly amazing. They're probably like the only ship that I like more than Avalon. Avalon has beautiful ships too, but wow. Eric is doing a New York to Seattle in that's right, a New York to Seattle via the Panama Canal in 2027, 22 days. So yeah, they're out there. There are all kinds of very interesting voyages out there, and you just kind of need to look for them, or we can go find them for you. We have some clients that are just like, find me an interesting cruise. This is what I want. In fact, somebody just booked, what did they book? It was that Viking cruise. It's like Bergen to New York or Bergen to, and it's just like the coolest cruise. It's got so many interesting stops along the way. You just never know. Willie B needs another aqua old fashioned. Those were excellent old fashioned. The trick there was she was making them with maple syrup, which I still haven't done here. I'll have to try that at some point. But instead of simple syrup, she was using maple syrup, which was absolutely fabulous. So I'm going to go ahead and run down some of these group cruises again. If you guys have questions about these or anything else you want to answer, simply go ahead and drop them in. But I'll go ahead and walk through some of the group cruises. For those of you who tuned in a little bit later, I'll go through them a little faster. If you want to come on any of our group cruises, just simply go to where'swaltertravel.com, click on group travels right there at the top. And you can reach out to myself, to Mindy, to Corey, any one of us. We can all book you on any one of these group cruises. So the first one is the big one. It is Christmas time on the Rhine. It's actually Christmas time on the romantic Rhine, but I couldn't fit it on the graphic. December 7th through the 14th, 2027. Yes, this is 2 years from now. That is also when the final payment is due. So you've got 2 years to pay for this. September of 27 is when the final payment is due. Our savings were $400 per person. It may have actually gone up because we locked in a promotional rate that stays with us until the ship sells out. I believe we have 56 people going on this already, so we have 1/3 of the ship. It's Basel, Breisach, Kell. Kell is your launching pad for Strasbourg, Ludwigshafen, Rudesheim, Cologne, Mainz, and then we end up in Frankfurt. So it's a 7-day cruise, Basel, Switzerland to Frankfurt, Germany. We're probably going to fly into Zurich, spend a couple days in Zurich, because Zurich has some beautiful Christmas markets as well. And then we may spend a couple days in Frankfurt, or at least 1 day in Frankfurt before we fly home. So for those of you from the United States, you're going to be able to be home for Thanksgiving. You're going to be able to be home for Christmas. This falls right in between, so we purposely picked that. So if you'd like to come join us, that's going to be on the Avalon View. The majority of the ship is what's called the Panorama Suite. It's 11-foot wide by floor-to-ceiling height glass, and your bed is facing the glass, so you can look out, and you can open 2/3 of that into a French balcony if you wanted to. So if you want to join us, certainly do reach out. And if you don't have any plans for this Christmas, you're like, you know what are we doing for Christmas this year? We don't have any plans. Well, you can come with us out of Miami for 12 nights, round trip, December 18th through the 30th. We're going to be on the Cunard Queen Elizabeth. We saw her in Miami last month. She is gorgeous. She is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to do Miami, San Juan, Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin, and Tortola. It's going to be our 3rd Christmas in a row in the Caribbean. And let me tell you, it is absolutely beautiful being in the Caribbean over the Christmas holidays, watching the sun go down on Christmas Eve and then come up on Christmas Day. It is absolutely gorgeous. I will be your Distinctive Voyages host. We will have a cocktail reception. We're also going to have a free shore excursion in St. Lucia. So if you'd like to come join us, that is going to be this December 18th through the 30th. If you want to go to Hawaii with us, that's going to be in February on the Emerald Princess, February 4th through the 20th, 2026. LA, Honolulu, Hilo, Kahulu, Kauai, and then Ensenada. 10 sea days just to relax and enjoy ourselves. Emerald Princess, February 4th through the 26th from LA, 10 freaking sea days. Then the other big one, our Italy trip. If you want to go to Italy, we're going to Italy. In fact, we'll be in Italy. We'll be at the end of our cruise at this time next year. October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026. The Celebrity Constellation, plus or minus 2,000 passengers. Nice small ship. We start out in Ravenna, which is 3.5 hours outside of Venice. We're going to do Split, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Messina, Salerno, Portofino, La Spezia. We end up in Civitavecchia, which is your gateway to Rome. Or You can stay on the ship like we will, and there will be a 15-day transatlantic, will be the very next cruise, stopping off in Spain, Morocco, and St. Martin before it ends up in San Juan. And then we may spend a day in San Juan. You never know. We've never actually like stayed overnight in San Juan. We might. So that's available. But our group rate, I want to say we have 2 to 4 cabins left. But our group rate on the actual group cruise, which is the Italy part, our group rate includes the Celebrity Basic Wi-Fi and beverages for less than the Celebrity Standard rate. We locked in our rates a year ago, and we still have access to them. But I think we have between 2 and 4 cabins left. And when those are gone, my group rate is gone. And then last but not least, Tony and Jenny B are going to be hosting at least 200 people on the Norwegian Jewel, April 16th through the 23rd, 2026 La Lita Loca group cruise. We're doing Philadelphia. We're going to have an overnight in Bermuda. Then we go to Charleston, South Carolina. We have 3 full sea days. So 2 of those days, we're going to have a big group activity for the entire group. Don't know what yet. We're still working that out. And then one of the days, if you're a patron of La Lita Loca, we're going to have a more private group for the patron members of La Lita Loca. So in fact, Tony, Jenny B, and I got to get together soon and figure out what exactly we're doing on those days. But if you want to come hang with Tony and Jenny B, I know everybody who did the Enchanted Princess cruise with them in October, even though it wasn't exactly the itinerary you planned on, y'all had a great time. Tony and Jenny B are 2 of the most lovely people you will ever meet. They're real, they're authentic, they're just nice people. And if you want to come out to support them. And also keep in mind, so just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. And any of our travel partners. So we have, Stephanie Mullen with the Shawn and Steph channel. We have Tony and Jenny B at La Lita Loca. We have Luke and Gavin at the Cruise Monkeys, and then Peter over at Cruise RX. With these travel partners, if you let us know that you were referred by them, then they actually get a portion of our commission to help support their channels. And so when you book with us and you say that you're referred with them, you're actually helping to support us as a small business, and then you're also helping to support their channels as well. So it's a really cool thing. And what we do is we don't do one-time referrals. We do it for the life. Every single time you book with us, we help to support them as well, because without them, you wouldn't have known about us. So if you ever want to, help support them, by just simply booking travel, that's how you do it. You just let us know that you were referred by them, and then we help to support them at the same time. So, hey, Emily, how are you? Good to see you. So Rebecca's going to love this. Alex wants to do a karaoke night on the Norwegian Jewel. I don't know what we have to do to convince Rebecca to sing, but she will.
You really don't want that. Trust me.
They did a karaoke night on the on the Enchanted Princess. I think it went well. So who knows, Alex? We very well might do a karaoke thing. That would be a lot of fun. So yeah. Willie B hears that a helicopter tour over the Hawaiian Islands is awesome. I am investigating doing the one that Stephanie did. Stephanie did the one where they fly you to the Jurassic Park waterfall, and then you land somewhere near it. So it's from, that opening scene where, the helicopter flies in. So she did it, and it sounded amazing. So I'm seriously looking at that one. I might end up doing that. So, but it's amazing.
And trust me, Willie, you will not see me singing in public.
Yeah, she will not sing.
It will not happen.
No, she won't sing.
I'm doing you a favor by that.
Yeah, I take the brunt of it for all y'all, is what I do.
Yeah, I like to say.
You don't want to hear me sing either.
I can sing, just nobody really wants to hear it.
Yeah. But Emily, it's good to see you again. It's been a while. I hope everything is well over on your side of the pond. We were just talking with a couple of your cohorts yesterday, Luke and Gavin from the Cruise Monkeys, comparing European cruising with American cruising. It was actually a great hour. We had a great time.
It was interesting.
Huh?
It was interesting. I mean, a lot of it there's very different rules for booking cruises there than here.
I thought one of the more interesting things that we talked about was MSC cruises in Europe versus over here. In particular, in the Mediterranean, if you look at their Mediterranean itineraries, it's almost like a hop-on, hop-off types of itineraries where people can actually embark and disembark in many locations, in many of the ports during it. And my concern was always, well, you know, every day is going to be like embarkation day every time you pull into a port. So there's going to be people exiting with luggage, people coming on with luggage, muster drills, blah, da, 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 da. You know, I was like, that just seems like it would be super distracting. And their perspective was they thought it was actually kind of cool because it wasn't like everybody gets on the ship at the same time. We're all excited. We're having a good time. And then like the last couple of days, like the energy starts to come down because the cruise is almost over. They said, you know, just because it's our last night, it might be somebody else's first night. So the energy is like constant throughout the entire voyage because there's always new people coming on, new energy coming on. You're meeting new people all the time. I thought that was an interesting perspective that I never thought about. So they actually like those MSC cruises where you can get on and off the ship at many different ports because, according to them, it keeps the energy of the cruise up. Never thought about it that way.
Sounds exhausting to me either way.
Yes, and I can't remember if it was Luke or Gavin. I did ask Luke whether he was ever Luke Skywalker for Halloween. He said no, he'd never done that. That seems like an obvious
Missed opportunity.
thing. I know, but he did say make sure that when I get my tuxedo, don't get it like fitted. He said make sure there's room. I need, you know, I've seen those pants where like you can unsnap like the inside and you can let them out a bit. Those are definitely the pants I'm going to need on a cruise. And he was even saying like the shirt, you know, sometimes like the shirt fits, but then the collar's like choking you. And then if you got a collar, but then the shirt is too big, I'm getting some good tuxedo advice on there as well. Because those guys rock the tuxedos, man. Cunard is one of their favorite cruise lines, so they have the tuxedos. They were also saying, oh, that was the other thing that they said in Europe. A lot of times, gala night really is like gala night. Like people are like, you see a lot of tuxedos, you see a lot of suits, whereas over here in the States, you really don't see it. That's like the exception to see a tuxedo or a suit on gala night anymore. So many of us are just like more relaxed. He did say that they went to dinner in black jeans and a button-down shirt on Cunard. And so, yeah, they have
not gala night, but
not
yes.
gala night. No, on gala night, you still have to have, they're very strict about gala night, but on the rest of the time, you don't need a jacket all the time like you used to, which I thought was very interesting. So, yeah, so it was a great show. If you haven't seen it, it's on our YouTube channel, on our live playlist. It was yesterday, me, Luke, and Gavin, the Cruise Monkeys. They are our newest travel partner. We're actually their North American travel partner. They have an amazing travel partner that they use over in Europe, but they cannot book North Americans. I can't book Europeans. So, and Luke and Gavin have a growing North American fan base. So I can take care of, if you live in North America or in the Caribbean, I can go ahead and book you. If you live in Europe, you go through their other travel partner. So yeah. So, Alex saying that he didn't have any issues with the hop on, hop off. That's right, Costa does the same thing. And yeah, that was the other thing that I noticed too, what Alex is saying. He's saying the perk is not everyone is getting off the ship at the same time. So at the end of your cruise, it's not like 2,500 people or 3,000 people are all getting off the ship. It might just be a couple hundred that are getting off the ship. So it certainly makes disembarkation a heck of a lot easier. Disembarkation on MSC was the worst of any cruise line when we did it here. Both of them, just because, you know, you had to walk the length of the ship and up and down and all. It was not a very pretty sight.
The seashore was worse. But
it was
delayed coming in, so that was a whole
that was a 7-hour delay coming in because of the storm. So that was a complete cluster, and there's no way around that. But still, just the way they did it was ridiculous. But
you know, for me, coming from an American standpoint, if I'm going over to Europe, I want to be on the smallest ship possible. Like I want the smallest ship that'll work for my budget and my itinerary. I want to stay small. So
yeah, that's what we like. We like booking folks on the small. That like the Celebrity Constellation, you know, plus or minus 2,000 people. That's a nice size ship. Anything from Silver Sea, Oceana, Azamara, Explora.
Whereas when I'm cruising from Florida, it's like it's you know, I'll just try out ships.
Yeah, we like to try out. Like the Caribbean has become our trial We're very fortunate that we live an hour from Port Canaveral, hour and a half from Tampa, and of course with the Bright Line train, 20 minutes to the train station, and then we're heading down to South Florida. So we're very fortunate that we can hop on a lot of these ships just to try them out, so we can tell you, how they are and better understand them, so we can book the right ship for you. That is just so important. Everybody always asks us, what's the best cruise line for this, that, or the other, and it's never the cruise line. It's always the ship. What is the best ship for what exactly you're trying to do? Because sometimes it could be Royal Caribbean, it could be Carnival, it could be Princess, it could be Holland America, it could be Azamara, Oceana, Explorer. The cruise line doesn't. It's not that the cruise line doesn't matter, but it's really that ship. It's really the ship. It's a combination of the right ship and the right cruise line, because there will be a culture, there will be a vibe on board that's going to fit what you want in addition to the ship. So it's always about just getting you guys on the right ship at the right time for that vacation. Now, when we get on the Cunard ship, that'll be 13 different ships for us at that point.
Cruise lines.
Or 13 different cruise lines. So even before we became travel agents, we had done 9 different cruise lines, just because we like to try the cruise line. We've never been loyal to any brand.
And
loyalty.
Walter gets bored easy. And you get bored easy.
And you get what?
Bored. You get
Oh, me.
bored
I get
easily.
bored. Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do get bored with the cruise lines. There was one point where we did 3 celebrities in a row on the Solstice class, and I love those ships. They're absolutely gorgeous. But I was like, okay, we've been on the same ship 3 times in a row. I need something else. I can't do this. I need another cruise line. So I get very bored going. Like, I know some of you guys, like, I hear people, I've been on Royal Caribbean 100 times. I would be out of my mind if I went on just Royal Caribbean 100 times. That's just me. That's just me. I know there's a lot of people who they like that familiarity. They know exactly what they're getting the minute they come on the ship and all of that good stuff. But for me, I like exploring. I like learning. I like seeing different things. And there's not a single ship that we've gone on that we would not go on again. We've enjoyed every single ship for different reasons.
Now, the Paradise will
think it's fun.
test that theory.
Yeah, the test. Yeah, it's going to test that theory. So yeah. So. Willie B is saying it'd be good for Status Match to be on Royal Caribbean 100 times. That's only for the cruise lines that do it.
Which, by the way, apparently Virgin Voyages has ended their Status Match program. If you've already matched in, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
But you can no longer
Did
status
they finally? Yeah, because they were threatening. They've been threatening to end that for a while.
They have finally ended it.
So the Status Match. I mean, if you just want to be excited about status matching into Silver Sea and Celebrity, yeah, that's something. But now I think MSC that would make MSC the only cruise line that's still doing it. Some of the luxuries do it, but they do it with the other luxuries, like Regent with Explorer, Viking, and all of that. So getting a lot of loyalty to Status Match to somebody else is like a dwindling game at this point. I always look at what I tell people when they ask me about the loyalty stuff is how much money does it cost you to get that perk? Like somebody's like, oh, I get free laundry at such a thing. Well, how much does laundry cost? $40. And so how many thousands upon thousands of dollars do you have to spend to get that $40 laundry, where you could just pay for the $40 laundry and, do that?
I mean, we've achieved a high enough loyalty with Princess to actually start getting some meaningful perks.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of by
Just
accident.
because, yeah, we just kind
And
of went
we're
on it.
close to doing that on Celebrity as well.
Yeah.
Again, it's just kind of it's
Right.
not a deliberate choice
Yeah, and
to
Barbara.
get that status. We're not seeking it.
Yeah.
It's nice, but not
And
seeking
Barbara's
it.
mentioning that Norwegian is supposed to start status matching. They are, but it's only the Norwegian brands. And it's a very convoluted system. It's actually a horrible system that they've come up with. What you have to do is you have to book the cruise. Let's say you have status in Norwegian and you book a cruise on Oceana and you want to be status match. You have to write to an email to Oceana at least 10 days before the sailing if you want to have the status match. It's such a terrible system. It's very convoluted. They didn't explain it well. And it only is the Norwegian Cruise Line holding brand. So it's going to be Regent, Oceana, and Norwegian. Yes, you can status match across the brand. Basically the same idea as Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Silver Sea. Those 3 are much better. You can status match anytime. You don't have to book anything to status match. With the Norwegian plan, you must book first on the other brand, then status match in. with Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Silver Sea, you can just status match anytime you want. It's a much better system. It really is. Emily's going on the Disney Dream from Southampton next year. Ooh, lovely ship. Lovely ship. We did the Fantasy. Absolutely loved the Fantasy. I really want to get on the Treasure. Stephanie was on the Treasure recently and said it was gorgeous. So I really want to get on the Treasure. But yeah, anybody who's status matched with Virgin Voyages, you're in. They've been threatening.
At least up till a certain date, I forget.
Yeah, so they've been threatening to end the program. You still have to get yourself up to a certain loyalty by a certain date, or you'll be dropped off. But we're Deep Blue Extras. We've been on the ship 8 times. I don't think we're in danger of anything.
We're there because of our Virgin sailing. So even though we did originally status match in, it's no longer for us relevant.
Yeah. So yeah, the cruise lines. It is interesting that they don't want a status match. I kind of get it because they want you to earn the points there. But for us, it's just so expensive to get some of these, very low dollar perks that it's really not worth it for me to say I'm going to sail, 50 times on Royal Caribbean to get that free laundry or the Wi-Fi or even the drinks. So that's just me.
For us,
just me.
For us, we never chase it, but we don't turn it away when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. So Grace, how are you, Grace? Thanks for joining in. Have we sailed on the MSC Seaside? Yes. If so, how was our experience? Well, that was our first MSC. We've been on 2 MSCs so far. We've done the Seaside and the Seashore. So the Seaside is, Seaside. Seaside is the original. Yeah, Seaside is the original ship. And
in that class.
Yeah, Seaside, Seaview are the same size. Seashore and Seascape are the 2 bigger sisters. They added a deck to those 2, and they did make some internal changes. So what we've done so far with MSC, we've sailed as regular sailors. We have not done the yacht club yet. Number one, if you do the yacht club, excellent experience, totally different experience than the rest of the ship. But we've gone as regular sailors on both of them. What I find is that the rooms feel to me to be a little bit larger than your standard rooms on all the other ships. Like a balcony on Royal Caribbean is slightly smaller than the one that we experience on MSC. The bathroom layout was good. The
ships are beautiful.
Yeah, the ships are gorgeous. I would love to know the chrome budget for MSC because I've never seen so much chrome in my life.
Although there are definitely some points where you're walking and there's so much chrome and mirrored things that you almost walk into walls.
Yeah, but they are absolutely stonking gorgeous ships. The pools are amazing. The pools are like 6 feet deep. Really big, beautiful pools on the ship. It's where MSC is lacking for me, and especially on the Seaside class, is I don't think the entertainment is all that great, especially some of the shows in the main theater. I think they're a bit lacking. The service can be very inconsistent. And I mean, very, very inconsistent. It's the only cruise line I've ever been on where I witnessed a supervisor in the guest services desk berating, like very loudly berating a guest, like just laying into him. I've never seen that on any other cruise ship ever. Usually it's the other way around. It's the guest like yelling at guest services, which is awful in its own right, but I've never seen the cruise line yelling at the guests. The food is very, very inconsistent as well. Like we had excellent meals in the main dining room, and then the next day it was just, in fact, we had the funniest experience on the Seaside where we went in for dining, and everything that I was trying to select, the server was like, and it kind of became a game. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
Was that the one
and I loved that.
Was that the one with the bowling alley above our head?
Yeah. We had the bowling alley above the main dining room, like literally above our table. So we were trying to keep score. We could hear the bowling. But I love that kind of honesty. So that made it funny. Was the meal good? Not really. But it's one of the most memorable meals I've ever had on MSC because she made it so much fun. Now, will we go on MSC again? Absolutely. You take the good with the bad. The pizza's amazing. Coffee, some of the best coffee you're ever going to drink at sea. They're Italian. The affogatos in the chocolate shop, oh my God, like beyond belief. So we will go on MSC. You just have to know what you're getting yourself into.
And honestly, for the price you're paying, you are definitely getting your money's worth.
You're totally getting your money's worth on those ships. 1,000%.
You're not going to get,
So,
5-star gourmet meals, but you'll
Well,
be-
although I will say the specialty dining, very, very good. We had excellent meals in the specialty dining, and I understand the butcher's cut's supposed to be amazing. We have not eaten there yet. So certainly, like if you're thinking about MSC and you haven't booked them yet, and certainly talk to your travel agent, or if you don't have one, feel free to reach out to us. Where's WalterTravel.com. You can talk to me, Mindy, or Corey. We would love to help you figure out like which ship is the best for you, what experience. Now, yacht club, that's a totally different experience. If you go in the yacht club, 95% of the people will tell you it's amazing. Because you got a butler, you got your own restaurant, you got your own pool, you got your own lounge. That is a ship within a ship experience that is outstanding. But the ships themselves are lovely. We've sent a lot of people. I think everybody should try MSC because the price is ridiculous. The price is lower than Carnival most of the time. So, should you go on MSC? I think everybody should at least try it. And, maybe you got to pick out the right ship, especially the World America. So the World America is the first ship designed specifically for the North American market.
I will say, just having researched some cruises, that the World America is not necessarily cheaper than other options.
Yeah, well,
but
it's the newest and shiniest
yes,
ship.
And that's true with every cruise line. Their newest ship is always going to be their most expensive.
The new and shiny toy is always going to be the most expensive one. So so if you want to reach out, if anybody wants to reach out,
the
where's
prices are
WalterTravel.com. Just reach out. In fact, gosh, it's 12 noon Eastern time already. My goodness, the hour and a half goes so fast. So if you've been watching and you like what you see and you want some help with your travel, certainly do reach out. It's where's WalterTravel.com. Wherever you're watching us, there are links in the description. You can just reach out to us, go to the contact us page. You set up an appointment. That's how we do things. You got to set up an appointment with us so we can talk to you. We've got questions we need to ask you about what you're looking for, the types of things that you want on your vacation. And then again, we try to match you up with the right cruise and the right ship. Can you transfer your loyalty points to MSC? You can status match to MSC. Just go to MSC Cruises, and there's a whole section in there about status matching. So, how will the itinerary to Jamaica be adjusted due to the recent hurricane? That is a case-by-case basis. If you have a cruise booked right now, just simply wait for information from your cruise line. The Minister of Tourism, as I mentioned earlier, is hoping to have the island fully open by December 15th. So all of the individual cruise lines, you might get extra sea days, you might get different ports. We're in the winter season right now, so we have upwards of like 100, 120 ships, all competing for the same ports. So in some cases, you are going to go ahead sometimes there's no room, sometimes there's extra sea days. But if they can find you a spot, they will absolutely do that. So, okay, folks. So if I can help you in any way with your travel, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. We can book you no matter where you live in North America or the Caribbean. And Corey, myself, or Mindy, God, why did I forget Mindy's name? Would be happy to help you out. But I've got to go because I've got multiple meetings this afternoon. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I will be back. Boy, we didn't even talk about it. I'll be back on Thursday night. I've got Celestial Cruises coming on Thursday night. That is the small family-owned cruise line that sails around Greece, and now they're adding the Red Sea and some other things. So if you want to learn more about Celestial Cruises, tune in on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. I might have a friend that you've met before. We haven't confirmed yet who's going to be on the show, but it just might be a friend that you've met before on my show. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning in today. We really appreciate you joining us on a Sunday. And if we can help you in any way, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. Happy Sunday, everybody. Have a good one.